Okay, so I'm just gonna wait a second because I wait for some people to join. So, but yeah, so Padawan, how you doing? Don't know if you want to join at all, right, like that. So if you want to join, let me know and I'll grab your link. So yeah, so talking about the veganism slash meat eating whatever kind of diet last night, and there seems to be a slight sort of difference of opinion in chat and what have you, and and I'm after real kind of kind of facts and kind of, because there's a lot of information out there. It's kind of a minefield really, to be able to find the information to actually that's actually going to be beneficial and kind of right. Well, so Padawan, going live with my FB group in an hour, but if you want to join, I'm a bit busy till then though. No worries. But yeah, well, thanks for joining. Now, just kind of waiting till some people come on. Sometimes, like literally before I start, there's like 5 people waiting, so I'm just kind of Skyfly Bry, how you doing? So yeah, so Padawan, try to give up meat for 2 weeks. It won't hurt you, and you can see it. You can see for yourself. What do you recommend eating then? What do you recommend? Like what kinds of fruit and veg do you recommend eating? Is like the best like health food and stuff like that. But some are saying it's better to kind of transition into a particular diet and not just go cold turkey. Yeah, but I just want some good advice and stuff, and I want to also be able to advise other people on stuff, because what if I try something and it helps me, then I can share that knowledge with other people and advise other people. I don't want to push anything on anybody. I never have done. I just kind of want to. Oh yeah, Infinite Waters, Diving Deep. I used to watch that guy a little bit, but I kind of just thought it was, I don't know, probably because it got to a point where I realized he weren't going deep enough, and it was just talking about like it's like a kind of it's all about the self, isn't it? The ego, about your own desires and stuff like that. So I suppose it kind of takes you away from the bigger picture of what's going on. It's all power, and I eat veggie, chili, curries, and fruit mostly. Yeah, ease into it. Don't just stop. Skyfly Bright, I emailed him. He had an agenda. So what are you talking about? What did you? I mean, obviously you don't want to like say publicly what you kind of said to him, or whatever, what is said. So yeah, I mean, there's probably people. Obviously, those with I mean, look at the view counts and the subs and what have you. It's kind of obviously there's these sort of guru types, whether it's a government agency thing, or whether it's just someone's trying to constantly try and make money. And I can kind of see what why that could be, and it is stuff. It teaches people to not want money and want kind of, as in like the plastic money. But it's it's probably like YouTube will probably promote the ones who aren't promoting the real truth, or the ones who are promoting some things. And it was kind of evident when he was talking about the no forest thing, actually, but he didn't actually give any credit to the person who put it out there. The Russian guy, which is not really good, is it? You should be giving credit if it's inspired by that. If it's been inspired by that video, I mean, you should really kind of. And his video's probably got more views than the original one has. And I'm sure he did actually put credit to it at the beginning, but then he probably thought, let's just, so it kind of would be evidence of like plagiarism, because you're not actually crediting your sources. And because there were quite a lot of like big YouTubers that got exposed for plagiarism and things because they were using other people's content without any credit. Yeah, definitely just about money, really, for a lot of these people. Peace, Infinite Waters, diving deep once again. Today, I will be teaching you how to make money. 10 steps. 1. Teach people how to make money on YouTube and call yourself Infinite Waters, diving deep. I've run out of money and we haven't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? Oh, God. Anyway, where is everybody? Well, the sick thing is money is not the only reason. So what are you talking about? The money's not the only reason. So what are you trying to imply there? Because what do you mean he's like an agent or something? Like, I don't really understand. Chill power and enjoying the last of the sun, Jamie. Lol. Cool. We gotta get out and sun gaze, eh? But I suppose people are just trying to get out and enjoy nature. Well, so is it nice and sunny then out where you are? Because it's a bit overcast, I think, here. Was trying to rain earlier, but then it kind of stopped. Obviously, we have different weather north and south, which kind of, I mean, I don't know if it makes sense on a bowl or not, whether, like the different weather, because you would think that the Antarctic would be being blasted with sun during summertime, even like beyond 75 degrees south, because of the tilt of the Earth, which is allegedly what's causing the seasons, would actually make it about, I don't know, it would make it more like the 52 degrees or something like that, which it wouldn't be like really, really cold. It would be kind of melting, and yeah, it would probably melt during the summertime. And like I said, there is photographic evidence out there that does show a kind of like ice-free Antarctica, whether that's true or not. But if it's not true, it doesn't make any sense on a globe. If it is true, then why are they telling us that it's this freezing place, like that's always in perpetual just blizzard? Well, it's always blizzard, but like they say it's always like never gets much higher than it never gets up above freezing in most of it. They say it's always really way below freezing, they say, most of the time. So, you're all doing well, and so yeah, I don't need to prove flat Earth to anyone. It's self-evident. It's what our senses tell us. It's what our five senses would tell us. But they tricked us into thinking that we shouldn't trust our senses and trust them instead, because of course they've been 238,000 miles to the moon, and they've done all these things and have these satellites that are orbiting 1,000,000 miles away, whatever, the Himalaya satellite. I mean, you really think that's actually what's going on, or do you think it's possible they could be lying? So anyway, well, as Dell was saying the other day, that this flat Earth thing, it seems to be kind of gathering momentum, and and it's kind of, we just got to buckle in and see where it goes. But I think we do have to make sure that we control where it goes and not let them control it. Skyfly Bride, 238,000 miles on that in a straight line at the moment and time, and you're taking over 1 million. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was trying to say, with all the movement and the time involved, you to get there, it will be over 1 million miles. Well, it's just crazy sort of thinking that you can somehow get to the moon. It's just really, if it is that far away and it's orbiting around the Earth, it's just crazy. Somehow, just by coincidence, the sun and moon just happen to appear the same size, and that's why solar eclipses are a puzzle piece fit. Yeah, that's what they're having us believe now. There's people that believe in that, that they just happen to, just by a random coincidence, one being 400 times bigger and 400 times further away, making them appear to be the same size. Or is it that they are both the same size and both the same distance? And that's why, and it's not some coincidence. I mean, are you absolutely kidding yourself? You've got to be. If anyone believes in, like, what about eclipses? How do they work on a flat Earth? Well, it's like they're ignoring that somehow there's this kind of massive coincidence that's supposed to be going on. And yeah, it's just crazy, isn't it, when you think about it? And of course, with lunar eclipses, and it's like, what about, it's because the Earth's shadow, whatever, casting on it, but we don't even know if it is the Earth's shadow that's, causing, the shadow or whatever. it's the curved shadow or whatever. It's always sky-based evidence, or some kind of thing that's irrelevant, nothing to do with curvature or anything like that. When you see a rainbow in the sky, how far is it from you? The truth is, it does not exist. Only a trick of the light. Well, there's some people that say that rainbows prove a dome, which I'm not too sure about, because it's something that you would have to verify or falsify, and it's not been done yet, and I don't know. I can understand what people are saying. It's just you've got to make sure your arguments are really kind of refined if you're going to try and, the best proofs that you can kind of convince people with, like the long distance photography, get them over to beyond horizons and say those distances don't seem to kind of be right. The globe, it just doesn't add up, does it? Because there should be all this curvature. It should be hidden behind all this curvature, but it's not. Even with the height of the observer took into account, it's just proven negative. It's just kind of not being demonstrated, and somehow the globers seem to think that it is demonstrated. But there's a lot more things that would show that it's not a bowl. Literally millions of videos out there, proving it's not a bowl. Well, yeah, you might say, well, a lot of them are mirrors and what have you. Half the videos are probably mirrored, but I still think there's a lot of stuff out there for people to sink their teeth into and really kind of just digest the information and just kind of, how could you have literally hundreds of proofs against against the globe Earth? If it is, what to hold up to scrutiny, it shouldn't be, constantly failing up to some of these tests that are being done. Until Padawan saying, if rainbows prove the dome, how do we get little ones? If there's a dome, is there a domes everywhere? I got my own evidence, Jamie. Cool. Yeah, because you did your own little test, didn't you, at Jenny Cliff, weren't it? And went down onto the beach and proved it to be not a bowl, or at least not the size they're telling us it is. Now, when people, obviously some globers say, oh, look, the buildings are disappearing bottom first, and, you can say, well, that's a good point, the buildings are disappearing bottom first. Some of it's being hidden now. We don't know if there's atmospheric lensing going on. It's something that can actually be demonstrable and provable as a thing that actually happens due to the atmospheric conditions. And Eternal Padawan saying, I've repeated as well, Jamie, and have seen the whole lighthouse now. Well, I went and I didn't actually go and watch it, but I will probably be watching it, but I kind of just skipped through bits of it and just saw if I could see the whole thing. But the fact that you could actually see the whole thing top to bottom is, there's no actual, rebuttal to that, I don't think. I think it's well and truly game over for the globe. Well, I reckon it is anyway. So yeah, what else can I talk about? I don't know. If anyone has any kind of things to kind of talk about, then let me know, and I can kind of, voice my opinion on a certain topic, and someone could come on if they want and bring up a certain topic and bring something to the table. So I'm going to have to watch that then, the Global Eye Evidence. I'll just give that a thumb up. I'll just probably watch that later or something. So, Flat Enough, how are you doing? Peanuts Clark, how are you doing? Peanuts Clark saying, how come nobody talks about what's in the centre of our plane? Yeah, that's a good point. I see people talk about Polaris and, and different things. I mean, I see you get the whole blood cult thing, whatever. They kind of call it, like there's some kind of vortex going on there or something, and some kind of holy grail thing going on. There might be something going on inside it, like more land going on or something, which would be interesting. But, it's definitely interesting to me, because to me it's something that you would think is kind of, because all compasses point to the North Pole, don't they? The magnetic north. So it does seem like there's something going on there. I'd be, until Padawan, Jamie, I'll get a link sent to you for the hangout I'm on soon. If you can join, that would be cool. But if not, no worries. Well, I'm doing my own hangout right now. I don't know. I mean, so I'd have to kind of. What do you mean? I'd have to like kind of move over there or something. I don't know. Well, anyway, Karen Petit, how you doing? Well, I was watching some of that hangout with where you had Dave Murphy on it. I didn't watch it all. I just kind of skipped through some of it and kind of watched some of it. But yeah, doing all right. But yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. He's asked me about being on a hangout. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. All right. So I don't know. All right. Cool. If you're going live at 8 p.m., you know, if you're doing your thing, cool. Well, I'd probably come on sometime if you sort of let me know in advance, and then I wouldn't kind of set up my own thing, and I'd come on instead. And you know, there's someone been doing flat Earth videos lately. Just kind of started doing flat Earth videos. I don't know how long he's been doing it for a couple of months by the looks of things, but he's only got 13 subscribers. It's called Luke Donnelly, so I'm just gonna I'll be putting a link to his channel in the chat. Karen Petit, I wanted maybe one day next week with Nana Abraham and Darren Nesbitt. It was like one of the first like videos I watched where he was doing the presentation, and it was like almost 2 hours long, and it's like just proof after proof that you know these NASA and you know these people are liars, and how you know there's no curvature you know hundreds of miles away, and you know and then if you go type him in on YouTube. What you get is like you go scroll down a bit and there's someone apparently exposing him as a shill because he's doing the devil horns, like flashing the devil horns or something. I mean, really, what does it matter what kind of slip up and do the like a symbol or whatever? Anyway, Rory McFizz, how are you doing? Billy Sunday and Darren Nesbitt next week. It would be good if you can make it, Jamie. I'd come on if you just let me know in advance. Hit me up, send me a direct message to wherever. Just make sure that you let me know if you want me to come on, because it'd be good to actually speak with Darren Nesbitt for the first time if he could actually, because like I said, he was one of the first. That video, and I watched his video, I watched his presentation thing. It was the thing that really kind of compelled me to like really kind of research more and more about this thing. But his video was just like when his video, I mean, it was New Horizons or whatever, and he was, like on there presenting the flat Earth. And Karen Petit, sure, not arranged yet, but I will be asking him. But we'll tell D. Right, cool. So if you let him know and then let me know, then he can let me know. Then it's all Padawan. Like I said, Jamie, we get some big names, and now we're going to be going live more. Cool. Because it'd be good to kind of interact with some of the other people as well that I've not kind of interacted with. And it's good to see that there's the bigger channels kind of interacting with the smaller ones and what have you. Anyway, Oscar Wilde, how are you doing? So let's just see what load of rubbish there is on Twitter, the debunkers, whatever. You tend to just get like the same posts, like don't know that. When people come into flat Earth, they still assume that the sun is still 93 million miles away. They still assume that everything else about the universe is still the same, and they'll come out with arguments. Oh, well, how come the other planets are round? And well, just because they're round, it doesn't make them spherical. And even if they were spherical, it doesn't mean that the ground you're standing upon is spherical. It's like, to me, when they come up with such nonsense, it's kind of proof in itself that the Earth's flat because, well, like it's not technically flat, but it's it's a level plane. But because water's flat, but it's of course. But it's like you get these people who all just they come up with the worst arguments, the same old debunked arguments. Anyway, so yeah. Someone's put a poll up, putting, would you rather your spouse be passionate about the Earth is flat, vaccinations are evil? The hell? This guy's probably not, like, he's probably a global believer or something, I don't know, can't really tell. Someone's sharing that crappy video, how we know the Earth isn't flat, and Russian Russian vids kind of exposed that video as being full of symbolism and stuff, and just the crappy, arguments for a globe, which it's full of them. There aren't any good arguments for a globe. Well, so yeah, it's good seeing more of these billboards and stuff going up. I mean, apparently one of them is going to be up for like a month or something, and well, I've seen a lot more sort of activism and things going on lately, and I suppose I could do with mark up a few more banknotes whenever I use them again. Of course, I'm sure I've heard that you can't do it with the plastic ones or something. I don't know. I had to find out about that because I did it, a few weeks ago. So at least I feel like I've done something a little bit at least. I do like the Truth Cube idea, but I don't have a printer, so I can't really print them out. I mean, I could do it somewhere else, but I don't know. I think there's probably other ways to get it out there. It's cool that people are, maybe taking on board some ideas and kind of fitting it into their own, maybe. And because there was that guy, is it Plain Ranger, who did like a spirit level prop thing, and he got people to he just put it there, and then obviously people would come up and sort of, because they'd be interested in it. And it's just about planting seeds, isn't it? It's just about getting them to think. You can't force it upon anyone. It's a sign of like desperation, isn't it? It's a sign of insecurity in your own knowledge if you're forcing it upon somebody. Wendy Blank, how are you doing? So yeah, anyway, there's quite a few people live right now, I think. That's cool. So anyway, well, I suppose the good thing about there being more of them, it kind of spreads out all the, the opposition, I suppose you could say, and makes them less of a problem. So I was saying about how, I think it was Joseph Green or something was saying about how, because he's hoping to make money on it, and I know some people are like, oh, you shouldn't be making money off of flat Earth. So I can understand that, and we shouldn't really need to make money off it. Kind of, I suppose in a way it would kind of still mean you're asleep and you're still relying on money so much, but someone was saying it's like, well, would you rather be, working, for a company so many hours, or would you rather be, kind of spreading the truth all day and, being able to kind of do that and talk to like-minded people about it and stuff and just have fun? I know what I'd rather be doing. But actually, whatever you do, it's always going to be sort of, there's always going to be kind of like, they're obviously going to take money out of it and what have you, and they put ads on your video, and it's going to be like indoctrinating people and things like that, isn't it? And yeah, don't know what you guys thought, sorry, on it. Because I probably pondered on it for a bit, thinking about it and what have you, but really thinking about it, it kind of, and if you do want to make money on it, maybe there's different kind of ways to do it, not kind of, affiliated with YouTube itself, but rather kind of other websites that you can use to, kind of do it. And I've been looking at this site, it's called Fiverr, and apparently you can make money on there and kind of, but I don't know if I'd do it or not. I mean, depends if I could figure out what I can like, but it's just the kind of decision that, do I really need to make money? What do I need money for? What do I need all that money for, is what I'm saying, is like, maybe we can cut down as much as we can, but, while we're still in this system, we kind of still need a bit of money, I suppose. So I can understand that, really. Well, I don't have a problem with anyone that does it, if they want to make money out of it, they can do it, as long as they're not, sometimes it might be affecting some people in a way where it's like that becomes the kind of objective to what they're doing, as opposed to try and wake people up, to wake them up, out of the system. I mean, we can all get out of the system, but these people are then focusing on money and trying to, use it as a promotion tool for their business or whatever. And well, it's fine doing that. There's people like IPS who does marketing and stuff, and it's fine people doing that sort of stuff, but it's when it kind of, you might end up becoming more compromised as a person, and you're kind of not, where your heart's not in the right place anymore, and you're kind of not thinking about trying to wake people up in a way where you're just trying to make money off of it. So yeah, I'm not like particularly interested in sort of debunking NASA as such, and looking at all the footage and like, oh look, this is bubbles in space. I mean, it's like, it's cool that people are doing that, but you just got to think, well, they've got to be doing this on purpose, surely. They cannot be doing all these errors by accident. So why are they letting this out there? Why are they making it so obvious that they're a bunch of fucking liars? That's what I'd want to know, because if we can get to the bottom of that, then we might understand how it could be a distraction or whatever it could be. I certainly don't know what it could be, whether it's a distraction or what. I can understand, because I was watching a video video that Curious Life put out, and he was like going on about how it's a trap. It's like because people are just in these, just perpetually just debating over and over again with, and arguing over things, and and no one's getting anywhere. It's like you got to actually focus on getting out of the matrix as opposed to, because I think some people might be missing the point. What is, proving zero curve actually going to do for humanity when you think about it? I can understand it in a way, but I think we just kind of need to, try and understand how they could maybe still keep power while the Earth being flat and all that. We've just got to understand what they're, trying to do, perhaps. I mean, it might be quite difficult to do, but I don't know myself. I mean, anyway, got Marcel Molenaars. How you doing? Wellness 81. And perhaps they are and have made it obvious so that it's eventually exposed, so they can then use the newfound truths and revelations to gain trust in the new structure that they roll out. That's a possibility. I mean, the thing is, we've got to be, people can't just be sitting back and just, oh yeah, it's coming out, and we've got to be thinking, hang on a minute, why are they letting this out? Why are they deliberately fucking up? It's obvious. I mean, I thought probably at first they were just accidentally fucking up, but it seems like they're doing it on purpose more and more when you think about it. All these anomalies, it could be some kind of backup plan, and we've got to think about how, it could be, I don't know, it may seem to us like we've won, but it's kind of like where they still have the ability to control us, but we've got to understand what they could be trying to achieve, because when people say it's a psyop, then if people say it's a psyop, I mean, maybe they're right in a way that doesn't mean it's not flat, but it could still be some kind of distraction, and it could be used to divide people up, because, you get true seekers that are ball earthers, flat earthers, concave earthers. They're all after the truth, but they don't agree upon everything, and they're trying to put us in a ring match against each other. What the fuck's that all about? I mean, we should all be working together. If we don't agree, we don't agree. Stop arguing. We're not going to be convincing a lot of these people. That's why I'd say don't even bother going in debates with these people, because if they're just not going to get it, they've been in this for so long, it's just not worth your time. Just ignore them. They'll probably end up giving up if people just kind of stop giving them attention. So, but yeah, Wellness 821, they probably have more control with the internet, more influence. Wellness 821, oh yeah, they can easily use flat earth for division and eventually IMO, trust in new leaders. Yeah, very possible. So I think if more people can be aware of that as a possibility, because new people coming into it won't be thinking about those things. They'll just be thinking, let's get this out there and we'll be all right once it's out there. But when really thinking about it, it doesn't kind of make sense that they would just let this out there. You'd think they would try everything to just be able to kind of keep some power over us. And I'm very skeptical of what they could be up to. So anyway, yeah, I still want to get the numbers up and what have you. I mean, if they roll something else out, come on, it's got to be better than this. So even if, we do end up in something else, some other matrix where it's got to be better than this crap on it, unless that's what they want us to think. I don't know what's going to happen. But you could say they're trying to buy time, trying to slow it down so they can buy time so that they can figure something out. But we've got to try our best to make sure it doesn't slow down. Marcel Molenaars, birth certificate and money are my only problems. I want my freedom back. Yeah, we all just want to be free. We all just want to be, treated equally, And unfortunately, that's not the case in this, screwed up world that we're in. So much, difference between the rich and the poor. It's just so big of a gap. So nowadays, people are just, slaves without realizing it, and that's how enslaved they are, because they're slaves without realizing it. Well, I'm gonna say to you, we need free land to start with. Yeah, that's something that we should have a right to. We should have a right to a bit of our own land and what have you, our own little patch, whatever. Because, and also, just be free to go wherever we want and just share everything out amongst each other. Obviously, these, powers that be, they obviously operate with a different mindset to us. They don't want equality. They don't want, everyone to be free. They just, they want power for themselves. Anyway, it's funny how, when people say it doesn't matter whether the Earth's flat or a globe, yet they get so triggered when you talk about it. It's funny that, isn't it? Honest 81. Meanwhile, people mortgaging for decades only to continue to pay taxes and often lose the property eventually. It's horrendous. Yep. So yeah, it's kind of obviously, people don't actually own their own private property. They just, they're literally just, renting off of the government basically, because, they still got to pay taxes. So they'll make you think that that you own your own place, but they put the apparently depending on the size of your house, they'll make you pay more tax. So it's like, well, duh, you're actually kind of stupid if you think you're on your own at home. But I probably would have thought it if I had, kind of say I bought my own place. But but then again, people who rent houses are literally just spending money. It's just dead money. But when all money's dead anyway, it's just it all belongs to corporations, dead corpse. We got to learn all this stuff. Well, it's 81. Yeah, a lot of people paying $10,000+ on annual property tax as well. I suppose if you got like a mansion or something, you'd be paying loads on taxes. So but they kind of trap you, don't they? 'Cause they make you kind of like that. You don't really have an option. You just you have to be part of the system almost. Because even if you try to not be, say you want to be, off the grid, and they make it a way where you still have to be partly in the system. You'll have to buy land or whatever, which is, or you'll have to rent the land or whatever. So when people get these caravans and things, they'll literally, I'm sure I've heard that they have to pay about 300 quid a month, something like that, in ground rent. So it's like, I'm thinking to myself, well, that's quite a bit, that, isn't it? When you consider that some people don't even spend that to rent a house, and they'll have to, buy the caravan, and then they have to, so when you kind of think about it, it is bullshit. It really is. You shouldn't really be allowed to, own anything really. I mean, it's kind of wrong when you think about it, because it's just kind of turning people more and more into slaves. Well, I say 2-1, yeah, only hope perhaps is for communities to band together and all reject it. I think what we need to do, like I said, is for us all to, just kind of not recognise the system and just kind of ignore it, sort of thing, and just. But I think it was Nick that was saying last night that by not being aware of it, it's kind of breaking the law or something. Like if you're ignorant to the law, then it's breaking the law still. But the problem with that is, of course, they shouldn't be forcing you to study law. That should be against our human rights. So I don't think that you should be forced to do anything. There's Ali B that was saying the other day you can cut down your council taxes or something, because if you tell them that you'll take their bins to the council every month or whatever, then they're not forced. What I'm saying is that they can't force you to accept their services. Suppose it'd be like someone coming to your door without you asking, saying, here's a takeaway, pay me such a money because you got to buy my service. It's just ridiculous. Wellness 81 saying, agreed, we need to ignore it, but if your neighbours are still playing along, they can come and apply force to you. We need large groups of people, communities, I suppose, to all have the same approach. Yeah, that's true, that is. So yeah, we should all just band together. But yeah, I agree. Wellness 81. Don't know what your name is, but I'm just calling you that for now. There's quite a few people over at Pete's Share right now, actually. Michael, cool. Let's see if I remember it. Well, anyway, let's have a quick look, see what new videos are out. Don't know if I'll be on here too long tonight. So anyway, yeah, I think it's like it's fine. People don't want to believe in flat Earth or like that. But we just gotta push that aside and kind of move on and focus on what else we can have common ground in. And it's kind of childish when people are not kind of distancing themselves from people just because they can't grasp the flat Earth. It's kind of just putting people against each other, isn't it? Well, anyway, Alright, I'm just on Twitter right now. Someone put, I've noticed that no flat earther has ever told me why people don't walk, sail, drive, fly off the end of Earth. That's kind of proof in itself that the Earth's flat because, why do people keep, who's saying there's an end? No one's saying there's an end to drive off of. Are you absolutely kidding me? So I'll put, I'll reply to him, see what he says. So I'll put, what if is no end and it keeps, hang on, hang on. Yeah, I'll put, what if it keeps on going forever, or there's a barrier like a dome that prevents us going any further. Hashtag flat earth. Got a few more hashtags in as well. Yeah, we'll see what he says because I mean it's kind of it's an argument from incredulity, that is. It really is. It's when you've not actually done your own research and actually looked into the flat earth model. Well, not the model, I mean like as in the different possibilities. You just been on mainstream and they say about the edge. They're the ones who have invented that straw man, and the Flat Earth Society, of course, as well, which is most likely a government-owned site, a controlled opposition site, to make the real flat Earth look stupid, make flat earthers look stupid, to put people off actually doing further research. Yeah, we'll see what he has to say. This kind of sucks that you can only do like 140 characters on Twitter. I mean, you can literally do 200 characters on the group. I mean, on the chat thing on these hangouts. So Wellness81, yeah, the edge and some of the ideas are nonsense. People just haven't thought about it, and in many cases won't. Well, you just got to hope, haven't you, that these people will actually, because as long as they're being directed to the right places, they'll, maybe start considering the possibility a bit more. Because I know it's like when you think it was like when you're a kid and you're told that they used to think the Earth was flat, and it was like this crazy belief that people had, and now they woke up and realized it was a globe. But thinking about it, it's like, well, how the hell did they actually prove it was a globe? And somehow a lot of globe believers now think that the horizon is the curve. Well, they didn't fall off the edge, so it must have went over the curve of the Earth or something. And you somehow think, because you think, oh, well, it would just keep going on if it were flat. But I see, when you don't understand perspective, then it's an argument from incredulity, really. And they're full of them. They keep asking these questions. Oh, how does this work? How does that work? Well, you clearly haven't done your own research. And if you had done your own research, then you should already know how it works. Some of these people will still be, oh, well, it still doesn't work though, even with the close sun. Well, what's wrong with it? It's perfect. If it's a spotlight over us, it makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? Oh, but how does the sun not change in size then? Well, how do we even know what the sun is? Well, it certainly isn't 93 million miles away. That's pretty much certain. They had to put it at 93 million miles away in the heliocentric model. Originally it was something like 3 million, and then it moved up to like 6 or 10 million, and then 30 million, 50 million, 70 million, and then up to 93 million. So, they kept on changing it. So it's like it was never a settled thing. Next it'll be what, like 100 million or 150 million. What's it actually going to be next? They're just going to keep, making things more and more ridiculous because they have to do that to make other things work. So, it seems like a lot of these, you see these TV programs and stuff, and it seems like they're hinting at it, which is kind of strange. Like they want us to know. Either that or they're doing something subliminal, and we're just not getting it. Well, it's not responded just yet, but we'll see, won't we? If he will do or not. Yeah, 1 million miles, that's hard to believe, yeah. I don't think any flat earther really thinks it's more than a few thousand miles away. It could be even lower than that. Could be, well, I wouldn't say within the clouds, but it could be a few miles further up above the clouds. So maybe between about, so we're saying it could be about 60 to 70 miles up, or maybe a bit more, maybe 100 miles. But I'm not actually too sure where it is and what it is. We're not privy to that kind of information. But, Wellness 81, 93 million miles would be 500 miles per hour for over 20 years. I say send a plane at it and see what 1 hour does. Yeah, well, anyway. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm just going to like wrap it up or whatever. I know I was like invited to go on another hangout, and that's cool, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do right now, to be honest. Well, I'll go and give it a thumb up. So if anyone wants to just go over there and thumb it up and just do that. Well, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just gonna, I don't know. there's not much going on right now. No one's asking for a link or out. It seems so busy. Who knows? It might be a time of year or something. I don't know. And everyone's out in weather and enjoying that. Well, I shall be finishing up shortly, I think. I expected a bit more than this, but, you know, obviously I don't want to keep doing it all the time, but unless, of course, there was, like, lots of discussions going on it and stuff, and, I don't know, I might just, yeah. Well, anyway, well, 'cause I'm not doing it right now, so, well, I just usually hang around with you guys and stuff, but it's not the sort of usual turnout, so, yeah, well, we got Dan W. How's it going, Chief? It's doing alright. So yeah, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, well, I don't know, I might go over, ask for a link to go to the other thing. But yeah, till next time, guys, I'll chat to you guys soon. Probably I think it'll be Friday, my next one. Yeah, till then, I'll probably, hang on, Dan W. saying, you going any UK meetups, Blackpool or anything? I think I'm supposed to be going to Blackpool. Yeah, I just need to get more, I mean, I know what date it's supposed to be, I just need a bit more details on that. Hopefully they'll kind of talk a bit more about it, you know. We are waking up, how are you doing? Yeah, it's flat everywhere, by the looks of it. So you're supposed to be going to Blackpool then, Dan W. Well, like I said, I might just quit it now and go over onto something else. Rory McFizz, what's the Facebook live stream, Jamie? Well, it's some group. I think it's a Facebook group that are chatting together or something. People who hang around on Facebook or something. It's called, well, the channel's called Karen Petit, and I'll just give a link out if anyone does want to go over there. And I mean, I'm not keeping you here if you don't want to stay here, because I'm going to be wrapping it up unless, you know, anyone does want to join, but I'm just going to give it up now, I think, because I've asked quite a few times. And yeah, well, so yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. Just give it another minute. Yeah, it's definitely been a lot more chats going on lately. Well, yeah, so till next time, guys. Take care. Peace.